Thank you, everybody, coming tonight again. We have some new people. So I want to quickly tell what we're doing and what is our goal. So Women's Federation for World Peace Australia, New South Wales office has partnered with Madhu Sharma, who is working from India. So say hello, Madhu. Yes. And so just quickly, I'm not going to do the same as in the beginning, but Madhu Sharma is an internationally trained psychometrician from British Psychological Society and certified career counselor using psychometric assessment by Psychotech UK. She also holds certification of competency mapping from TV Real Learning System and Green Belt Six Sigma from India Statistic Institute, New Delhi. So there's a long history about Madhu, and we really happy to work together with Women's Federation and Madhu with Madhu's Mindful Moments. It's a program is called Mindful Moments with Madhu, and this is now recorded for the purpose of recording goes to YouTube. So anyway, let's now welcome Madhu and let's enjoy together tonight. Thank you, Madhu. Let's give
Thank you, Ayla. Thank you so much. Very good evening to all of you, because it's around 7 p.m. in Sydney, and good afternoon to all my audience here in India. We are back again with our second video, this time the theme being Resolutions for Self-Improvement 2022. It's at a point of time when the year is ending and all my friends abroad are in the festive mood, and that's the reason why I have a little tree with the lights, which is a part of a symbol that I am also in sync with their celebrations with them. You see, the year has passed out well. We all had our goals, and there were some which we accomplished, some which were not completed. For some, we need to delve deep. If the goals were not completed or the resolutions which we took when the year started, what went wrong? Why could we not complete the goals? And you see, the thing is, it's never too late to start afresh planning for 2022. Now, in this particular webinar, what are we going to do? First of all, we'll try to understand what is perfect, because all of us feel we must attain perfection. So then if we have to attain perfection, what is perfection and how can we become perfect? If I have to set my goals for the coming year, how do I set a right goal? How do I set a right resolution, which is a smart one? By smart, I will be decoding each word for you. It also means that it has to be doable and it has to be achievable, because what we know is that promises and resolutions are made to be broken. So we don't want to break the promises and the resolutions which we are going to commit ourselves. We will also be discussing that if I have to set a resolution, how do I decide what is right? How do I create a plan? And how do I make it personal for myself? Because a plan which is there for Ayla may not work for me, and a plan which is there for me may not work for Debbie. So we will have to create a plan which is exclusively personal for us. And then I have a section on Wheel of Life, because I have categorized these resolutions under the different heads, followed by which we will have the queries. You know, when I was trying to think of the pointers, this poem which I learnt in my English class when I was in school. I've just picked up a few lines from there. This is a poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson, which says, I'm reading, quote, "Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true." Coming back to perfection. If we have to define perfection, what is perfection? You know, for some, it is a state variously of completeness, flawlessness, something which is flawless without any error, and supreme excellence. Experts have identified that perfection is of two types, the good perfection and the bad perfection. So when we talk of good perfection literally means that when someone is trying to expect best for themselves, when I have to expect best for myself and I am creating opportunities for learning that. One is I'm identifying what is good for me, then I'm creating opportunities for that, and after the failure, I have to see that am I stopping at that or I am continuing with it, because if I stop at my failure, I'm taking myself to a level of inferiority complex, which is not correct, because when I'm taking myself to a state of inferiority complex, my excellence gets stunted. However, am I inspiring others also? Because if I'm not able to achieve excellence, then there may be occasions when I'm getting anxious also. So those who please or impress others perform worse than those who simplify, set ambitious goals for themselves. So the question is, am I pleasing others, trying to make them happy, or I am setting goals for myself? Because you see, what happens is that to err is human. And while we are setting goals, we should not make it very mechanical. And we have to make sure that there is always a room for some error. Now, whenever we are talking of goals, Uncle John, I need to change my slide. Please make me the co-host. Yes. Whenever we are making the goals, we have to make sure that the goal is doable. Number two, it's meaningful too also. Franklin Covey from the time management firm truly says that 1/3 of the resolutions don't make it past the January part also. You know, we make the resolutions, we are there with it for about a week, and then we merrily forget about it. And there are valid reasons for resolutions to fail. It's time for us to give it a thought that why do the resolutions fail? Before we talk of the reasons why the resolutions fail, let's talk of SMART goals. The word has been described into different categories, like S stands for the time specific, M is measurable, A achievable, R relevant, T is time bound. Let's take up specific. Say for example, I have set a goal for myself that in the year 2022, I'm going to, say for example, lose weight. Now this is a goal which is not specific. So how do I make it specific? For making it specific, I have to think of a timeline. How much time will I take to lose this weight? And how much am I going to lose it? Because once I have set a goal like this for myself, then only I will be able to proceed. M is measurable. Now, if this is a specific goal which I have set for myself, how do I measure it? So maybe I start logging in the details in a journal. Or there are people who start writing a diary that this is the plan I have, this is how I'm going to lose it, this is what happened on the first day, this is what happened after 2 weeks, this is what happened after a month. So we start recording all the changes which are taking place. If we do not wish to maintain it in the form of a diary, then we can perhaps make notes on our smartphone. Better still, there are apps which are there which help us in tracking. So perhaps we could have the trackers set on a phone also. Then it's coming to achievable. Now, when we talk of goals which are achievable, we have to make sure that we are not having the goals which are very difficult. We are not having the goals where we are moving very fast, because if we have very difficult goals, or if we are trying to move very fast and we don't get the results at the end of the day, it is only going to lead to a lot of frustration in life. So, and this frustration or this anxiousness which sets in because we are not able to achieve our goals, you know what? It starts impacting the different arenas of our lives, which is not correct, because that's when our happiness is at stake and also the productivity gets hampered. Then the fourth thing is, I have to ask myself, the goal which I'm setting for myself, or for that matter, the resolution which I plan to make for myself in the new year, is it relevant? Is it going to help me by any chance? So here, there's a beautiful quotation by Michelle Bennett, a psychiatrist, which suggests that if you build up a process, I'll read it from my notes, that if you are building up a process where you are thinking up harder about what's good for you, you are changing the structure of your life, you are bringing people in life who will reinforce that resolution, then I think we'll have a fighting chance. So here, coming back again to the fact that it's time bound, we have to also set boundaries, because you cannot work in a vague manner. The boundaries have to be set. When we talk of SMART goals, you have to focus on winning, which is small, and slowly the process becomes gradual. The timeline set has to be realistic. You know, Charles Duhigg in his book, The Power of Habit, is of the opinion that if you are building a habit, you are not preparing yourself for the next decade. You're preparing yourself for the next decade, not for the next couple of months. So if you are making a habit today, it's not going to be just for a few days, few weeks, or few months. It's going to be there in your life for a couple of decades. While creating a plan for your resolution, you have to make sure that the habit is broken down into 3 parts. Number 1, cue. Number 2, the routine. And number 3, reward. Let's take, for example, I have to take a resolution in 2022 that I need to change my habit of getting hooked on to social media. So the question is that if I'm getting hooked on to social media, what am I doing? The cue is I am hooking on to Twitter, I'm hooking on to Facebook, I'm hooking on to WhatsApp, or for that matter, Instagram. What do I do it in a routine? I do it daily, a couple of times in a day. Reward. What do I feel about it? I feel connected. I feel engaged. Now, these are the 3 reasons. One is I'm hooking on. Second, it's a daily habit for me. Third, it keeps me engaged. Now, if I have to change this behavior of mine, what am I supposed to do? What is the way forward? The way forward is, rather than getting connected to my smartphone Can I just go and speak to a friend of mine? Can I just go and talk to a colleague to break this monotony? That's one. Or for that matter, some people may be having a bad habit of smoking. So the cue is, I smoke because I'm stressed. I smoke because I feel lethargic. Routine, I smoke daily. What is there in the reward? In the reward, I get a stimulus after smoking. Now, if I have to break this habit in 2022, what am I supposed to do? If I'm getting a stimulus with smoking, can I substitute it with something else? And that something else could perhaps be a green tea or maybe an occasional coffee, because nicotine and coffee also has a stimulant in it. So this is one. Then we have to make sure that, suppose I have to come up with a new plan in my life and I have to make it personal. Personal in the sense, I have not been into exercising, I have not been into running. Suddenly I get this fancy idea, no, I must invest on my health. So running has to be part of my life from 1st January 2022. Now, you see what happens is, you start running, first you're very excited. People generally go to the stores, they buy tracks, they buy dry fit t-shirts, they buy these bands, and then they buy shoes and socks and everything, and they start announcing, oh, I'm going for a run. Oh, I'm going for a run. They run for 2 or 3 days, but the moment they start getting cramps in their legs, 4th day they say, okay, I'm not going to run today. 5th day they say, I'm going to rest today. You know what I'll do is, what I've missed out on 4th and 5th day, I will double it up on 6th and 7th day, and that 6th and 7th day never comes. So researchers have said that when they are making a personal plan for people who have to get into the habit of running, they say you fix a time in your mind. And suppose that time is 5 p.m. in the evening, you just wear your running clothes and you sit at home, do nothing. Don't step out of the house. Continue this for 7 days so that you get into the habit of at least wearing the clothes, running clothes at 5 p.m. And then the subsequent week, you just take a small run in your neighborhood, small neighborhood. Just do that. So 2 weeks are gone. So by that time, mentally you are geared up to start running. And from 3rd week onwards, you're already mentally tuned to wear your dress at 5 p.m. You've already done a bit of running for 1 week. So then the mind gives you a signal, go. And that's when the habit continues. But you see, sometimes what happens is timing also plays a very important role. If you are not timing this habit of yours correctly, there's every reason why this habit or this resolution which you are making for yourself for physical fitness may not work out. You know, what we do is, when we are hard pressed for time, we start running. And then suddenly we see the time. Oh gosh, it's time for office. This is where I need to go. So you are commuting, you're coming back after your run with commuting on your mind, with office in your mind, with office work in your mind. And in a hurry, you get dressed. Sometimes you may not be able to take a shower also. You get dressed and then you are coming back with a guilt. I went for a run, but I had office work. I could not do it properly. And this guilt turns out to be a punishment. And this punishment, when it gets connected with your brain, it starts putting a roadblock for you, where your motivation level starts coming down. So this timing itself for resolution is very, very important, because if you are not having the right time, you're not planning it appropriately, there's every reason why this resolution will fail. You see, resolutions, when I said it fails because of 3 reasons. The first reason being that we are trying to prove to someone else that, well, I have made this resolution and I will make sure that I will fully accomplish it. So the ego plays a very important role, because we are making a resolution not for ourselves, we are making a resolution for someone else. The second reason why the resolution fails is because it's very, very vague. We have not made a proper blueprint as to how we are going to implement it in action. You see, planning is one thing, but how do you bring it in action is something else, which is very, very important. So your goal has to be smart. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be achievable. It has to be realistic. You should be in a position to do it. And it has to be time bound. I have added 2 more alphabets to it, E and R, smarter. E, evaluate. Once you've made a blueprint for yourself, evaluate. Is your resolution, is your new habit going on the right lines? If yes, continue with it. And in case there is a problem, review it again. And if you have to replan, please go ahead and replan. Have a look at this. This is the wheel of life. If you wish, you can jot down the points, because I will be discussing each and everything in detail. We first start with physical and mental fitness. You see, one thing you have to realize, that there is no age for learning. Whatever you have not done till now should not stop you from doing it in the coming year. Let's be very clear on that. Learning has to be a continuous cycle, and our first learning for ourselves should be physical and mental fitness. Let's try to understand something. You see, all of us go through some amount of stress in life. Life is not easy. There's some amount of stress which all of us experience. When we experience stress, there is a hormone called adrenaline, which starts secreting in our body. It triggers another chemical in the brain called cortisol. You just need to remember these 2 words, adrenaline and cortisol. They are the ones which make sure that there is stress in your body. So when you have a very high adrenaline, your heartbeat accelerates. Your blood pressure goes high. And when there's cortisol, there's a mood fluctuation which takes place. There's a factor of fear which comes in. Your motivation takes a backseat. Now, it's very important for each one of us to make sure that we get rid of it. Remember one thing, till the time stress is there in our body, these 2 hormones will remain with us. But the moment the stress starts diminishing and the adrenaline and the cortisol level comes down, the heartbeat becomes normal, the blood pressure becomes normal, the moods become normal, the negative emotions turn into positive emotions. Now, this is within our own hands. Whether would you like to continue with these negativities in your system, or you would like to get rid of it? Because if you have to get rid of it, then you will have to make some effort to ensure that you have happy hormones coming in your system. For happy hormones to come in your system, you need to do a bit of physical activity. So make sure that in the new year, you have a resolution where you are investing at least 35 to 40 minutes on your physical fitness. Now, this physical fitness could be cycling, it could be jogging, it could be brisk walking, or it could be a combination of jogging and walking. It could be yoga. And If for nothing else, you could just pick up a nice dancing music and you start jumping around, do a bit of aerobic exercises, or even dancing without any steps will create a lot of energy in your body, and happy hormones will start setting in, and third day and fourth day onwards, the adrenaline and the cortisol gets pushed out. So this is very, very important. You must have a routine, and if you feel like taking a break, maybe one day you can mentally think that Saturday or a Sunday, I'm not going to do any physical activity. Like if you check this, I have this watch on my hand. I make sure that I walk at least 10,000 steps a day. Because when you start walking, what are the benefits of walking? Number one, the blood circulation starts taking place. A lot of oxygen is pumped to your lungs and your oxygen and your heart. You get a very sound sleep. Your metabolism improves. Your food gets digested beautifully. Then you are having happy hormones. So because of these happy hormones, your problem-solving skills, your decision-making skills improve. Because you are generally happy and having a pleasant personality, people like to interact more with you. You get a sound sleep. Your thinking capabilities become fine. Even in negative situations, you are positive. And for every plan A, you have a plan B. And more important, you don't have to take any medication. So by just investing 35 to 40 minutes every day on your physical activity, if you are getting so many benefits, why not? Then we come to mental fitness. Now for mental fitness, you need to do a couple of things. Number one, thought management. Make sure that no negative thought is coming and knocking at your door. The moment the negative thought starts knocking, pull yourself up, tell yourself, I'm not going to let this thought come, number one. But since we've been human beings and we've been creating these files of negative experiences all saved over here, so your second task is to delete all the negative files which you have stored over here. Because these negative files also have a bit of negativity in you. You have to remove these negative files from your mind. The third is deep breathing. Now, deep breathing, if you do it by way of a technique, which we'll do it now, you will see that after doing it for 3 or 4 days, you will feel much better. So how do we do the deep breathing? Use the 4 counts, 4, 3, 8, 3. You know, in the count of 4, breathe and fill your chest, your lungs with oxygen. Count of 3, hold that breath. Count of 8, pull your tummy inside and slowly exhale. And then take a pause again for the count of 3. Your fingers should be in this mudra position. And what should be the position in which you have to sit? We'll do this activity just now. Sit straight on your chair. Make sure that you are sitting straight on your chair. You can do this on your chair. You can do it on a sofa. You can do it on a couch. If you wish to sit on the floor with your legs crossed, that's a wonderful position. We call it Padmasana in yoga. Or if you are a little overweight and you can't sit with your legs crossed, you can keep your legs straight, lean against the wall, but make sure that your spine is erect. Your spine has to be straight. And close your eyes. If you're wearing specs, just take off your specs. There has to be a slight smile on your face. And may I request Uncle John to kindly play that instrumental music which I just sent to everyone. Sit straight, eyes closed, head properly balanced over your little shoulders. Slight smile on your face and start breathing. 4, 3, 8, 3. Take a deep, long breath. Hold in the count of 3. Exhale. Count 1, 2, 3. And start with the breathing again. Focus on your breath. Could we have the music, please, Uncle John? Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Life is beautiful. Make sure you enjoy every moment. We have 86,400 moments every day. Each moment has to be a positive moment. Whatever has gone is history. Whatever is lined up in future, that's mystery. I only have my present to live. Breathe in and breathe out. Focus on your breath. Think of a beautiful incident. It makes you very happy now. Think about all around you who need your support. Think about 2022. How you are going to make it more happy, better than 21. Breathe in and breathe out. Take a deep, long breath. Hold the count of 3. Exhale. Take a pause. No need to open your eyes all of a sudden. Take your time. I'm in no hurry. Very slowly open your eyes and come back. So you could pick up any music, instrumental music, which is soothing. You can even pick up carols if you like. And just do this deep breathing exercise early in the morning in open air. And if you have a very hard day, you're very tired, and you don't wish to focus even on 4-3-8-3, now you know the technique of breathing. Whatever time you take to inhale, the double of time you have to take to exhale. You can just lie down on your bed with your hands and legs stretched. This is in Yogasan, we call it a Shavasana. You can have a soothing instrumental music next to you, and you will see that you'll have a very sound sleep. You'll even forget to switch off your phone. So once you are doing the deep breathing, you're actually pumping a lot of oxygen in your mind, in your brain, and you're relieving the stress hormones from there. So physical and mental fitness, we are doing 2-3 things. We are doing thought management. We are deleting the negative files. We are investing 30 to 35 minutes on any physical activity and minimum 5 minutes of deep breathing. The next thing which we have to be absolutely careful about is our diet. When you wake up in the morning, if you can have a glass of lukewarm water with half a lime and 1 teaspoon of honey, that's the best thing you can do to flush out all the toxins from your body. And then if you have a problem of acidity, just have 1 banana empty stomach. You will never have any problem of acidity ever in life. You can take your morning cup of tea or coffee, like I take coffee. I have developed the taste of coffee without sugar. White sugar is very harmful for health. So try avoiding sugar because milk itself is very sweet. You may not like it 1 or 2 days, but third day onwards, you'll develop the taste. Or even if you wish to have it sweet, the jaggery can be the option which can be substituted instead of sugar. Take a complete breakfast, a complete lunch. Your dinner has to be very light. If you can have your dinner by 7:30, that's the best time. Don't delay it beyond 8:15, because there has to be a gap of at least 3 hours between your dinner and your sleep. You need to be awake for at least 3 hours after your dinner. We do just the opposite. We get so engrossed with our official work at times that we have our lunch at about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And then we have our dinner late and we go off to sleep. Please understand that the oxygen which is required to be pumped towards your heart and towards your mind is actually going towards your tummy for digesting your food. And that's the reason why people do not get a sound sleep at night. Then you have to also make sure that between lunch, breakfast, and dinner, after every 2 hours, you need to have something to avoid the acid formation in your body. Either you can have nuts or you can have a fresh fruit, or even if you have a lemonade, it's okay. Make sure that you are drinking plenty of water. Even you may tell your parents, elderly parents, because they detest drinking water at night. After 60, the feeling for thirst is less in the body. So if we are 60, we have to put in a lot of effort to start drinking water. The general excuse which the elderly people give is that who's going to get up for the natural call? And maximum strokes and heart attacks are coming because of this at night. So diet plays a very important role. If you are badly stuck up somewhere where you don't even have access to any food, rather than piling on to the junk food, it's better you take an apple or you take one banana and have it instead of having a junk food. Then the next section is skill development. We've all seen that how COVID has imposed so many complications in our life. When I was in school, we never had computers. So my knowledge in computers is not as good compared to the generation of today. I still have the phobia of technology. But COVID has thrust technology on us. There are times we feel handicapped. So there are two options. One is you feel handicapped and you keep on nursing an inferiority complex that I'm not good at it. The other is you pull up your socks and start honing your skill. So if I am not good in technology, I must have a resolution for 2022 that I will muster the courage to hone my skills in technology, because I will also be connecting it with the loved ones, time with the loved ones. Now, when the borders are closed and social distancing is there, emotionally we are distanced from each other. But if I have to stay connected with my loved ones, technology plays a very important role. So someone can have a goal for honing the technology. Someone can have the goal of working on communication. If people are not good in interpersonal skills, they could have a goal for improving interpersonal skills. If people are not good time managers, they could have a goal for improving time management skills. If I get stressed all the time, then I have to see that how I'm monitoring my adrenaline and cortisol levels so that my happy hormones remain and that I can manage with my physical and mental fitness. So we have to be ruthless in identifying this. I had mentioned in self-awareness also. We have to be ruthless in identifying the area, the gap area, and we start working on that skill. There are no two ways about it. Then the next segment is that if my financial planning for 2021 was not good, I will make sure that I do a little better planning in 2022. So we can explore the markets, we can see what are the trends going around, and then have some sort of mixed investments. Very important. Saving for the raining day, very important. Planning for old age, very important. Health policies have to be in place. Those of the people attending the webinar who are younger ones, they have to even plan for the education and higher education of their children. So this is where financial planning plays a very important role, because you see, sometimes what happens is, I'll give you an example. When the children are clearing the school and they are going for higher studies, and even the tuitions which they have to take, they cost a huge amount. So if parents are sensible, they have to cater for this fund ever since the child was born, and they have to be very disciplined in saving. The younger ones, I will suggest, should be very disciplined in savings. By being disciplined in saving means that you are earning an X amount of money. Make sure that you save at least 10-20% of it. And even if you have to live a life of little hardship, it's worth it, because beyond a point, when you have a very good balance in your bank and your financial stability is there, it gives a boost to your self-esteem and your self-confidence also. And women, I would recommend that besides contributing to the home and the other shows, you must have a separate account for yourself where you are saving a portion of your salary for yourself, so that you are able to control your finance and spend the way you wish to. That will only come with financial planning. Then we come to relaxation. The idea of relaxation is different for different people. Some people find listening to the music very soothing. Some people love to travel, while others love to read. Some people get a lot of joy when they just pick up the phone and they are talking for long hours with their friends and their loved ones. Some people are enjoying the cooking, and these days everybody is trying their hand in the kitchen, because with the lockdowns happening and the outside food not being very safe, I mean, one good way of relaxation could be trying a new recipe, and internet is loaded with such recipes. But it's just that you have to create a craving for it, that this is a new resolution which I wish to inculcate in my persona. So you will have to identify your own areas by way of which you feel elated, you feel happy, you feel motivated. And then we come to time with the loved ones. You see, in these changing times when most of us are working from home, children are also studying from home. It's not the quantity of time which is important, but it is the quality of time which you spend with your loved ones, which is very important. Even if you spend a few moments with them, are you making those moments memorable, which the child may carry with him in the years later when he or she grows up? So how do we make moments memorable with our loved ones? And you know what? If I ask you and make you do an activity, write 2 positive things which you remember from your early days, your mind will always race back to your childhood. The happy times which you had with your loved ones. If you ask me, what is the first thought which comes to your mind when you're talking of time with loved ones? I remember my dad was in the army and we were three of us. The moment dad used to come from work, he was still in his army uniform. And all three of us used to surround him, hug him, and ask for the balloons. And he used to fool us by saying, okay, I will take out the balloon by magic from the light. And I still remember how we used to cling on to him and he's doing all those actions. This is the thought which comes to my mind when I think of my childhood. So make sure that we leave such positive memories with the children. Now, the last one, behavior change. All of us have habits, good and bad. So now I think it's time to see which is the bad habit which I need to improve in 2022. So one bad habit could be some people are not good with papers, keeping the papers in an organized manner. So maybe the last 1 week of this year ending, we just sit with our papers, de-junk everything and put our papers in order. And next time onwards, we make sure that we will not wait for such a long time that we are surrounded by mess, but we'll make sure that we'll be very organized, we'll keep filing accordingly. So this is one habit which one can develop. The other habit which people say is that I don't get a sound sleep because I'm watching television till a very long time. I'm watching television till about 11:30 at night. Now, how do you get rid of this habit? Cue, I watch television. Routine, I watch it every day till about 11:30 at night. Reward, I feel so nice after watching the movies on Netflix and Prime Video. I am fully entertained. Result, I get less of sleep. And then the next day I have a headache and I can't concentrate on work and I'm too irritable. Now, how do I change this behavior of mine? How do I change this habit of mine? You will have to see that how do you carve out a niche for yourself where you are doing a bit of reading, a bit of music, and you are putting yourself to sleep and not watching television. Or even if you have to watch only till that time, which is conducive for relaxation, important to do away with stress, breaks your monotony, but definitely does not hamper with your sleep patterns. Now that's a decision which you will have to take. So this is the wheel of life. I have tried to categorize the different resolutions which we could make perhaps for 2022 under the different heads. Now within that, you have to see which are the areas you are going to pick up for physical fitness. What do you plan to do? Because if you have an existing routine, would you like to improve upon it further and make it more perfect? But perfection per se cannot be attained 100%, because the day I start saying or you start saying I'm perfect, we are closing all windows for any improvement. Diet, if you're taking a heavy diet, move on to a lighter diet. If you're not taking a balanced diet, move on to a balanced diet. If you are not having something in between after 2 hours every day, perhaps that could be a routine that could be squeezed in. If you have a job where you are traveling the whole day, then you could perhaps stack something in your car so that you are not hungry when you come back home. Because you see, what happens is that when we are not eating right things at the right time, there is a very good friendship that happens between the brain and the tummy. The brain tells the tummy, oh, she's not going to have lunch for another 2 hours. You may not have lunch with your own mouth for the next 2 hours, but your body wants the food. From where will that food come? The stored energy which is there The food will come from there. And once the stored energy is utilized, the body gets exhausted. You get tired, you get a headache, you become irritable. The metabolism gets disturbed. And then people come out and say, oh, well, I've not eaten anything, but I don't know why I'm putting on weight. You are putting on weight because your metabolism has got disturbed. Identify a skill which you think you should be honing in 21st century 2022. One of my friends in the morning sent me a message saying that I'm not good with technology, but this friend of mine is a very motivated person. She just needs a pat on her back and there she will be an expert in technology. So that could be one area for her for self-development. Financial planning, relaxation, time with loved one, and a behavior change. What care we must take to avoid failing of resolutions. Why do resolutions fail? I told you, because they are vague. We are planning not for ourselves, but for someone else. So we have to make sure that resolutions don't fail. And you see, I spoke to you about that running part also. When we are not able to do it on the right time, the brain picks up on that punishment, and this is where it stops us from doing that particular activity. There's this beautiful book by Pauline Wallen. I would want you to read this, Taming Your Inner Brat. Try reading this book. Sometimes you see what we say is, I will make a mess of things and I'm just going to start again tomorrow. So here there is a small little tip for you. Avoid berating yourself. Don't degrade yourself. Focus on what you are doing for yourself, even if you make a mistake. Because there's always scope to learn from your own mistake. And once you have improved upon it, or once if you've done a task well, don't hesitate from celebrating it. Now, what can be a celebration? A celebration can be a pat on your back. It doesn't matter whether others are giving you a pat or not, you give a pat to yourself. Buy a chocolate for yourself. Or better still, buy a dress for yourself. There has to be some way in which you are rewarding yourself. There has to be some way in which you are celebrating your success. And making sure that whatever you are promising for yourself, you are doing it. You see, I have this habit of making this wheel of life every year. And in my wheel of life, since I work as a consultant, there are 2-3 areas which I have added. Say, for example, if in the year 2021, I have earned an X amount of money. So in the coming year, I need to maintain that as a benchmark. Minimum that I have to earn, but even if I earn +1, X +1, it's an achievement. Every year as a consultant, the competition is becoming steeper. So if the competition is becoming steeper, I must have a slot for my intellectual stimulation, where I need to read a lot, where I need to do some course. So my effort is, if not every year, every alternate year, I must acquire a new certification or a new qualification, so that I am staying with the competition and I'm moving with the competition. And if I can go ahead of that competition, that would be something wonderful. So learning has to be a continuous cycle. Knowledge is getting updated every 74 days. The knowledge which we had 75 days ago is redundant, needs to be thrown out of the window. And more important, whatever you are learning has to be implemented, has to be application based. So this is what I had for today. And now I'm open for queries.
Thank you, Madhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So now we have a little gift for everybody who wants to ask a question. Please go ahead. Anybody?
I just need to tell there's a thing which, there's some galaxy, I don't know what the name is. They said the talk and the music were clashing. There had to be a talk along with the music. I had to give the brief for the deep breathing while the music was on.
So I had a reflection on this one that you said, not to be so hard on yourself. This morning I went to the office and a very good friend of mine, she said, why you look so serious? I said, oh, I made a mistake yesterday. And she said, as always she says, oh my goodness, that's a chance for learning. So to be in a safe environment consistently, people feeling that they can learn, even making mistakes is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because till the time you don't make the mistake, how will you know how to improve on it? And you can't be too mechanical and you can't be too robotic in your efforts also, that everything has to be done with a precision. Precision is acquired only with machines, not with human beings. Because the day you start performing in a precise manner, you are closing all windows for your self-improvement. There's a beautiful example of a river. You know, once there was a man, he asked another one, have you ever sat near the river? He says, yeah, I have been sitting near the river every day. So he said, what do you observe? He says, I observe that the water is flowing in the river every day. So the next question is, when you sit near the river and when you see the water flowing, is it the same water which flows every day? He says, what a question you are asking me. How can the water be the same every day? The water is different. That's precisely my point. Every day when we read even a small thing, you know, our thought process changes. Our emotions change, our feelings change. It cannot be the same. It has to be different. And the moment we put a stop to this learning, like the moment the water stops flowing, there's stagnation. There's fungi which is growing over there. It's not clean anymore. So thoughts and learning has to be continuous, like the flow of the river. And that's very important.
Okay. Any chances asking questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
So one habit I have is whenever I have something like a plan to meet somebody, or something to do, I often go really last minute, and sometimes I'm just on time or late. And then I always, degrade myself and say, why did I do that? I feel really bad. I feel sorry for the person. But then obviously that's not good. It's not positive. So then I keep making that same mistake again and again. And I feel that when you were talking about that mental block, I feel like I have that. So it doesn't help me to improve on that and being early. So how can I improve? I wanted to ask.
Yeah. So what you need to do is, the first thing is, you have been nursing a mental block for a very long time, that I am not able to reach on time. And when I don't reach on time, I degrade myself, and I am also spoiling my relations with the people with whom I go and meet when I reach late. So the first thing is, you will have to delete this negative thought. and supplant it, substitute it with a positive thought. The positive thought would be like this: I got to go and meet my friend. Generally, I have been late, but now I will put in my best effort to reach on time. So you are not saying I'm not going to reach on time, you are saying I will reach on time. So one is you are changing the negative statement which you have retained in your mind for a very long time with a positive one. Second thing, are you working?
No, I'm studying.
You're studying. Why are you studying?
I'm studying to become a teacher.
Okay, wonderful. So can a teacher ever be late in class?
No.
No. So if a teacher cannot be late in class, then you will have to start working on things which are under your control. Now, what is under your control? Time is under your control. It's called a common sense tool. We all know that we should not be late, and yet we never follow this tool. So you have to be a role model when you become a teacher. You have to do the role modeling. Role modeling is, if you expect your students to come on time, then you have to make sure that you are reaching before time. Even before the students are in the class, you are sitting in your class or you are there for the assembly, wherever your presence is required. So then you don't even have to tell your students to come on time, because they are noticing your punctuality. And you see what? You just need to stretch a little bit extra in your routine to be on time. Because if you are not on time, then you have to cut a sorry figure by apologizing from others. I'm sorry, I got stuck in the traffic. I'm sorry, I'm late. So your body language is subdued, your statements are subdued, you are apologetic, and it's not positive. It doesn't reflect positivity from your persona. So this is a thing which is under your control. Number one, make an effort to delete the negative statements. Number two, commit yourself to punctuality and a little bit of discipline in life from 1st January 22. So that's your resolution. Behavior change, that's your resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, that's a good resolution. And you know, if you want to be the leader, you're the first one.
Yeah, leaders have to do the role modeling.
Yeah. So even I try to go to work. The work starts 9 o'clock. I'm there 8 o'clock. And even sometimes my boss comes after. So very good energy immediately. You're a little bit ahead of the time of all your tasks.
You are not stressed while you are driving. You reach office, and before others you're opening your laptop, computers, and you have already started clearing the tasks which you had planned for the day. So, and it gives you a high, your self-esteem goes up, your morale goes up, your motivation levels go up, and it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. So how do you do your personal branding as a professional? That's important, and punctuality plays a very important role. So a little bit of self-discipline has to be there in the personality.
And you don't do these things to make yourself look good. When you are a little bit early, then actually you can help others. You can be very available because you took a little bit extra time to do your work and your task. Anyway, anybody else? Any queries? Or I think we have somebody from Sweden. Does our Swedish friend say yes? Do you have any queries? I think somebody from Finland also, but they're hiding.
Yeah, there are 4 or 5 people who are not switching on their videos.
Yes.
Maybe we request them for a picture then.
Yes.
Then they'll be on.
So anybody wants to turn on their camera for a very quick? photo, Uncle John, we can do that. And so I guess we finish today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and wishing each one of you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year in advance.
Yes, and thank you so much for always supporting. Particularly, we have our technical support. Uncle John, always there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We're always very grateful, and please join us next time. We are going to go, next attempt is in January. We haven't decided the day, but thank you everybody. Happy and Merry Christmas, and any holiday time you are with your friends and relatives, and take a moment to appreciate that we have each other. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karin. Thank you, whoever were behind those other pictures.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Madhu.
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
thank you, Madhu.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
Yeah, have a good Christmas.